Oh, it's working. What do you guys say? Shall we begin? Let's do it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new studio. If you haven't seen it, finished building it up yesterday. Hey, Milo, greetings to Ireland, of course. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And yeah, so new studio, doggos are around. Hi, Cookie. Hi, Linus. There they go. Oh, chat in the way. Fop. Can you see them? Ah, damn it. Linus, say hi. Anyway, so Cookie is in the corner at the bottom there. Anyway, I do not have a mini fridge yet. Funny enough you say that. I actually intend to get one. Right next to the AC there in the corner down there somewhere. To, there's a bird chirping away outside. I was wondering where the noise is coming from. I have the door open because we had chilly 38 degrees today. It was quite warm, but gorgeous. Took a swim in the Atlantic today. That was nice with the family. And yes, I am in Spain, Kill. I just moved in Spain. I mean, just like 5 kilometers from the last place. Just to our own home here with some garden. And as you can hear, the birds chirping there in the back. Chip, chip, chip. And so much talking. I want to introduce something. I did a quick play with it yesterday on that very short stream, which was just for testing if everything works, which it does. And Ragnar, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's really, really comfy. I actually forgot my headlight. Maybe I do that tomorrow. So I'm a bit dark today. Happens. So, what are we gonna do? I have a new template in the shop, and the link to the new template is also put, maybe let's go here. I put the link into the video description, and if you head over to the shop, go to templates, and then funny enough, it's on the second page. I need to put a landing page in the beginning. Here we go. 29 euros intro price. Template for Project Sam Orchestra Essentials 1 and 2. And there's quite a bit of stuff in there. So let's take a closer look. What is going on today? Oh, you got a mini fridge is loud. Well, talking about which, I shall open that before it gets warm. You know, it's that time of the day. Wait for it. Foop. There we go. And the after noise. There we go. So, and hi Lumonium, nice to see you. Cheers everyone. Hope you have a wonderful week, evening, day, morning, midday, afternoon, wherever you are watching from. So, and this template comes with quite a bunch of project files because not everyone has Orchestra Essentials 1 and 2. I shall mention that in the beginning. We are talking about the 2 beginner libraries from Project Sam. So I should put that down as well. So Project Sam, the template obviously, of course, does not include the libraries. So you need to have the libraries to make use of this template. Where is it? Essential series. There we go. 1 and 2. I don't know if they have a combo deal for it, pack deals. Let's see. Yeah, you can get a combo deal. Wait a second. Just one quick moment. Be back in a second. So there we are. Sorry for that. So yeah, Orchestral Essentials 1 and 2 is available as a combo pack as well for $3.49. The template itself does not contain the library, can only stretch that a few times more during the stream, just to make sure that everybody understands that it is not included. You need to have the libraries. So let's quickly just paste the link in the chat in case anyone wants to check it out. And so what I did is I tried to accommodate for the fact that everyone has both libraries. So the template comes with a version for Orchestral Essentials 1 and 2, one for Orchestral Essentials 1, and one for Orchestral Essentials 2. From now on, I will refer to that as OE because I get a tongue twister when I say Orchestral Essentials more than 2 times. Cheers. Hey, Peter. Good day. And also, I did include a few little demo tracks to just showcase what the libraries sound like. Before I dive deeper and talk a little bit about why some decisions that I've made in this template, I made the way I did them, I want you to listen to the demo track first. So this is the demo track for Orchestral Essentials 1 and 2, both versions, and it is clearly labeled. As you can see, OE1 is number 1 and 2 is number 2. So according to the labeling of the tracks, you immediately get to see which libraries are used. Let's play it. So that's the demo track for Orchestra Essentials 1 and 2 combined. Of course, you get the full template, all the MIDI data. You can digest it and analyze it, look into it, etc. So one thing that I have to admit, a little bit proud on this template. It's a little bit different than the other templates that are available in my shop. Due to the fact that the only plugin this template is using as kind of a third-party plugin is the reverb, which is my trusty Valhalla vintage verb. Everything else has no single plugin attached to it. So the sound that you have is the sound straight out of the box from the library. No EQing, no compression whatsoever, no master treatment. What I try to do with this template is, because first of all, Project Sam has an incredible sound out of the box, as kind of hopefully that track showcases. And this template is really aimed at concentrate on writing and writing only, and not mixing or working anything, because I strongly believe that a good mix starts in the arrangement already. And it is actually a good training tool to get a decent sounding track without any plugins or without any EQing or compression or anything, because the sound out of the box from these libraries is just insanely good. So all you gotta do, hey Seven, by the way, and thanks so much, I appreciate it. So what you can do is load up the template and just start writing without worrying about anything in terms of mixing. And I just want to quickly show how fast it is. Also very lightweight. The full loaded template takes, I think, about 15 gigabytes in Cubase together with Cubase. So it should decently run on a 60 gigabyte system. But even if you're not that equipped with your machine, let's say you have an 8 gigabyte machine, I have also included the fully deactivated tracks or projects so that you can just activate as needed. So I can show you that in a second as well. Let's quickly close this project and open the... That's it, it's closed already, it's very fast. And let's open the fully loaded empty template. I mean, of course, it takes a little moment. I think it has about, I don't even know, 150 tracks, something like that. There's no key switches involved, which is very convenient in terms of working with it. I included some additional patches that are not initially included or that offer the functionality in the GUI. For example, the octave button, and then you have a single version and the octave version as separate patches, which just makes it easier on the eye. And hopefully it's loading. Yes, it is. There we go. So this is the empty project if you want to start writing. And let's play around a little bit with some of the patches. And also look at the initial MIDI information in these patches. Most of these have a preset track delay according to the needs that I had on writing the demo track. I highly recommend to check all these patches. Usually I found that most of the patches have a track delay of about -25 to -30 milliseconds. That works really, really well. So, but if you, for example, just listen to the string arco patch on its own. And of course, you can jump into the patch if you actually, let's leave one thing open here so it's a little bit faster. So if you jump in, you can of course also control the attack and release times to adjust it to your playing. So a softer attack is good for long swelling chords. A little more attack there. Hey, Audimix. Do you guys usually write a track with only one library, or is it a common way to use different instruments from different libraries? I would say the latter. So the more you get into working with samples and sample libraries, the more I think you start to combine. I think in the combination of instruments is where it's also about what everybody calls like finding your own voice. So the creative decision of which libraries to layer also helps in creating a kind of unique sound. But then again, this is not really the aim of these type of templates. This is really clearly aimed towards beginners that have a big stack of libraries. And also it's kind of a little bit of an appreciation of what Project Sam has done with their samples here and with these entry-level libraries, because they just sound gorgeous. And by the way, I said it's about 150 tracks. It was 149. So same applies for the short articulations. Sorry for that. I should play that same thing again, then it was intentional. Every track has this little MIDI bit in the beginning. And what this does is set the initial values, for example, CC7. And this is something that may surprise you, or not. I don't know. The core values are rather low, especially on CC7. So to explain that a little bit, my aim is to, if we look at the mix console, to have like a fader unity. Every fader sits at 0 with just a few exceptions. I will explain that in a second. But nearly all the faders are sitting at 0. So the mixing does not happen, at least in my workflow, does not happen on the mixer side in Cubase with these type of templates, but rather in the MIDI realm. So the initial volume that you see here is kind of, this is where I've been tweaking quite a bit to get a gain matched template from the get-go that starts with round about minus 12 dB on a fader with every instrument at its loudest peak. So, I mean, that is minus 13.5 right now, but I think I just did this kind of stuff. Went really crazy and then adjusted from there. So, round about minus 12 is the initial starting point. So, and the same thing happens throughout all the instrument sections, and every instrument group has its own dedicated reverb, so you can determine. I found that they don't need much at all. So that's a pretty great sound there right out of the box. Really, really cool sound. Woodwinds. And also I tend to write with CC11 and CC1, so mod wheel and expression at the same time. With a MIDI bank, for example, like I have here, then you write CC11 and CC1 at the same time. And a lot of these patches offer speed control, and I have pre-mapped the speed control on all the patches to CC05, which makes it a little easier to remember what it was. I have that on a knob on my MIDI controller here, so with a tempo control, you can time stretch pretty drastically where this is going. And for the sake of it, I also included a delay that I didn't use much in the main demo. Sometimes it's very helpful to have that. I'm using just the stock delay from Cubase here, and for the Studio One version, which is coming soon, it's nearly done, so hopefully I can release the Studio One version of the template this weekend, or maybe Friday. Fingers crossed. So there's a bunch of stuff in here. And of course, one of the easiest things with Orchestra Essentials is to get writing with these full orchestration patches. I love these patches. I mean, any questions on that? For sure not. Also, what I mentioned that in the beginning. Hey, Neyman, that this is also a template, a little bit appreciation of what Project Sam has done. It helped me to rediscover all the stuff that is actually included in the Orchestral Essentials one. And I have to admit, the percussion section on its own is darn good, I tell you that. What a big ass sound. And also, by the way, I separated a lot of these. Thanks for the subscription, Louis. I separated a lot of these patches when you initially get the instrument or the library. Everything is laid out across the keyboard, and I wanted to have separation to make use of my routing groups like low percussion, mid percussion, high percussion, etc. So I split out all these different patches to their own channels, and I included the keys that they actually occupy to make life a little bit easier. I love these low rubs. You may need a sub for that. Very cool stuff. Hits. So, a lot of stuff there. Then we have some vocal sound effects. And I want to go back to this, and maybe we can just write a quick little another demo with the template tonight. I just want to showcase the other included templates. I mean, I don't need to open the disabled version, or maybe I need to do that just to quickly show you how fast that actually is. So when we go to the 1 and 2 empty disabled, foop, done. So that's for low tier systems. And hey Flozy, nice to see you. And I think that gigabyte is from Cubase alone. So it doesn't eat any RAM at all to start with. And then you can just go in. I have deactivate and activate on a key command, but you can also right click and say enable track. With a key command, for me, it's just one click and the patches. Ready to go. So, but as I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, there's also two versions, one for OE1 owners and one for OE2 owners. So in case you don't have both libraries, you still get something out of it, and maybe it's something for you to invest for later when you decide to get the missing version. Then you already have the template for that. So let's quickly check the demo track for Orchestral Essentials 1. I think that is really a rather quick one, and I tried a little more ethnic style with that. Hey, audio mix expert, I saw your comment on the YouTube video. Unfortunately, I don't really have any tips. I mean, I'm not a tech guru, you know, and saying that Win 10 eats too much RAM on an 8 GB system leads me to believe that the reason might not be Windows 10, but rather the 8 GB of the system. Unfortunately, I can't really answer that because I was always lucky enough to have enough RAM at my disposal to not worry about that. So, sorry, I can't really be of help. But if anyone has pointers or websites on how to optimize Windows for audio performance, I think there is some good information available out there. Flozy, if I can make it, the Studio One version will come out before the weekend. Friday, latest Saturday, I guess. So I'm nearly done. So again, this is pretty much the same thing, a full-blown template, this time just with Orchestral Essentials 1 only. Eats about, as you can see here, 8.5 gigs of RAM. So still recommend having a 16 GB system at all for this. So it's really just a very quick track. I just want to showcase, again, no processing, just the external reverb that I have on my system. And I think I also used a little bit of delay on this one. Check it out. This is just Orchestral Essentials 1, a quick demo track. really just a quick 30-second demo. And again, all the mixing decisions or how it sounds, I mean, on this one, I probably would put a little, hi Meat Puppet, nice to see you. I would probably put a little bit of gain limiting on the master just to push it a little bit. But I wanted to keep the templates as clean as possible to not worry about any mixing things additionally from writing. So rather concentrate on using mod wheel and CC11. Everything is pre-balanced from the get-go, and a proper gain staging is happening when you open it up from the as a starting point. So you just need to focus on writing. And the same thing also is included for Orchestral Essentials 2. So if you happen to have only version 2 instead of 1, there's a little demo track and also full template enabled and disabled. Sorry. For this one, Fuddy, nice good question. Hello, dear, as well. There is no processing on the master track at all. All the sounds in these templates are only using I use Valhalla Reverb as a third-party plugin, but that's the only thing. Every other track has no audio inserts and no processing whatsoever, which was very important to me to kind of try to achieve that just by the choice of sound selection and just making sound. What I did, to be honest there, on the master groups, I raised the gain, in this case, by 3 dB to tickle the master close to 0 dB. But there's no processing at all. The VSX that you can see here is only for my headphones. You cannot hear that in your stream audio. So this is a little demo track for just Orchestral Essentials 2. Basie, thanks so much. But yeah, all the sounds are only Orchestral Essentials 1. Meat Puppet, yes, there is Valhalla Vintage Verb in very careful dosage on the tracks, not that long, because the sounds themselves from the library are already sound pretty good as a room in and of themselves. I mean, that's the Project Sam sound overall. And it just sounds great on its own. And also the pianos are gorgeous. So the only thing that I added here is a little bit of delay on this piccato staccato phrase. And also what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of go with 3 different demo styles. So they're a little bit of ethnic, a little bit more melancholic, melodic, underscore type of thing, and the more little bigger, I hate to say it, epic track for the 1 and 2 combined version. So, and I mean, some of these instruments are just breathtakingly good. I love that sound. We'll even raise it a little. One thing that I have to admit, especially on this Orchestra Essentials 2 solo project, it's lacking. I mean, it's an entry-level library, and of course, there are some things that are lacking. If you have Orchestra Essentials 2 only, you will definitely sorely miss some legato strings. I tried to expose that a little bit with a fake legato line here, so it's just a sustain patch that is playing the melody on top. But then again, if you mix that with, for example, these beautiful violin and viola staccatos, they work really well together. And this is really something that is in the programming. So you need to overlap quite a bit to achieve a little bit of a fake legato sound with these sustain patches. But you can get away with it. That's what I wanted to showcase with this. And audio system in studio. Let me check. I think it's 32. Yes, 32. Not 64. Talking about which audio mix expert, good point. Project Sam also has their free orchestra, the full-blown contact library with serial and every bells and whistles for friggin' free. And I wonder why I didn't include that. So I will include the free orchestra, so there will be an update soon to the version where I include the free orchestra patches into the template as well. So you have a little more examples of, for example, Pandora and the full Symphobia strings, although they're very similar to the Orchestra Essentials 1 Arco strings. And that's pretty much it. So you get 3 different template files or project files with all the MIDI data. You get the enabled versions and the disabled versions, just depending on your system needs. Cubase 11, it is built. I think it should be probably backwards compatible up to Cubase 10. Although I unfortunately cannot really test it. So I will say works with Cubase 11, as I did in the past with other templates as well. So let's quickly open up the 1 and 2 version again and write a little something, shall we? So 1 and 2 empty enabled. So I don't need disabled because I have enough RAM at my disposal. So I don't need to worry about that. And I forgot to mention, of course, it is on intro price, and the shop was down for a little bit in the last couple of days, unfortunately. So I extended the intro price period till, what was it? 10 more days. So till Friday, next week, Friday. The intro price is valid. Then it goes up to 39. So if you're interested in the Cubase version, grab it before the price goes up. And so this is nearly done. So, all right, there we go. We are ready to roll. Any questions, guys, on your end regarding this? I sure don't hope so. So we can just work a little. What shall we write? Let's start with some percussion. I have no idea what tempo, so let's do the obvious, start with 90. No, I'm not writing a 7/8 on stream. I want to start with a tambourine loop today. I don't know why. Okay, faster. I don't know if that was any good, but at least it's a starting point. I'll just quantize that a little bit. That roll is a little loud, so what I can do is just edit that a little. Ah, that was a 16th. Okay, so starting point is set. Hey, Teeny Wheel. Hey, Seven. Hey, Jazz. How you doing? Let's put some boom. Do you use any MIDI controller? Yes, I do. Sorry. The one that I just unplugged from the cable. That was bad. Hopefully it's working again. Yes, it works. So this is a cheap made kind of copycat, I think, of the Korg Nano. The company is called Omnitronic, and the product is called FAD9, FAD.9. So it's the Omnitronic 9 MIDI fader controller. The fadeaways are rather short, but it's fine. So I just adjusted myself to it. The bed reminds you of the room in California. That's actually true. I mean, this is really just the crush station for very long night sessions when I don't go back to the house. So At least I have something where I can put my hat on if it's a long night, so I don't wake anyone up at 4 in the morning or something. So anyway, I wanted to where Cookie looked out of the window. Yeah, right, that's true. Cookie's actually right next to me down on the ground. They're both sleeping. I want to have some other low stuff. Low ground casa. This one. That's the one I need. And again, all the percussion instruments are labeled with a key information at the end here, so you know which key triggers what articulation. I think I mentioned that the initial patches, everything is in one patch, like low drums, snares, tambourine, etc. And for the sake of the template, I rather like to spread that out, so I have more control and can send the snares to the mid percussion stem, for example. So it's, by the way, the whole template is as stem ready as anything else that is kind of industry standard when you want to deliver something. So you can render out the individual instrument groups, or so you have the full stems, which is just strings, brass, woodwinds, full orchestra, key, synth, vocals, percussion, total percussion, and sound effects. I should breathe in between. Or you can render out the summing tier, which does not include any additional reverb. So there is separated by strings long, short, brass, woodwinds, full orchestra, synth, pad, arps, synth, other, the percussion that I just mentioned, choir, hits, whooshes, rises, sound effects, etc. So you can really go deep with rendering out. And of course, you can also render all the individual stem tracks at once. So you have like 149 audio tracks in case you use every single track in a project. So let's add some snare. How dare you telling me what to do? But you're of course right. Sorry. Yeah, switching screen to Cubase might be helpful. I don't even know where this is going. That was a little bit loud. So I feel that this snare could have a little more reverb. And also let's, quick tip, if you want to move the sound a little further back into the room, switch the reverb to pre-fader instead of post, and dial the audio fader down a couple dBs. Hey Adele, thank you very much, I appreciate it. And I do like the new studio look as well. Let's use some world. That's kind of an interesting rhythm there. Played more of a 3 against 2. So what I would do is pan this thing a little to the right. Just record the MIDI. So again, most of the mixing kind of happens more in the MIDI than on the audio side. So just bring the mix in there to the left. Right, sorry. So, let's start with something tonal. It's getting a little slow. Let's put a drone underneath this whole thing. Expression does affect the volume on most of the patches. There are some, I found some programming errors in a few patches that I was not capable of fixing. So for example, all the patches, CC11 is pretty much my volume controller. So let's bring Modway all the way up. So this is the loudest setting. And when I move CC11, it pretty much is a simple volume control. But some patches, like for example the solo patches, don't react to CC11. Nothing happening there. I think it's a programming error on the library side, and I wasn't really able to fix it. Sorry for that noise. So yeah, we just gotta adjust, adapt to it, and use CC7 on these patches instead. But don't worry about that. So we have a little bit of a drone going. Let's cut that off. 2, 4, 2, 3. One more bar. Like this. Hey, Scambot! Nice to see you. So we duplicate this. On the second duplication, we add Tum Tum. This sample actually stops when you release the key. That was very quiet. So, gotta bring that up a tad. There we go. Gets a little similar to my demo for the Orchestra Essentials 1, but I want to use these delay flutes again. Let's do this. I like that playful feeling there. Let's start with that. So. Okay, we need a low tone there in the strings. And also, I unintentionally opened the old version. I forgot, I really, really honestly forgot to include the only legato patch that they actually have. The legato cellist with a basis. So, string low legato. So, it's in there now. But it's not playing any legato, it's just holding a low note. Sorry for that, string players. Up till there. So we need something more affected. Nice, me like. Let's double that with piano. Maybe dreamy. Octave higher. I'm hearing the next chord already go down. No. There's a little bit of a chamber vibe to it. Kind of like that. That needs 16th notes. Okay, needs a little bit of track delay. I'm just repeating this whole thing again. Quick and dirty. That's fine. We could... Piano and timpani, well... In other templates, I do not have it under pitch percussion. In this one, with the Orchestral Essentials one, I just went with orchestral, what Project Sam gave us with the organizing of the patches. In other times, I have a dedicated key and synth segment, and then I put the piano in there. I don't necessarily just bang on the fact that piano is a pitch percussion instrument. And yeah, I think it is a little weird to put the piano next to the timpani, next to the glockenspiel and other stuff. But I mean, if you create a template, you can pretty much do whatever you want. It's your template, dude. So if you want to put the piano on the strings because it has strings, go for it. You know. So what do we have on offer? Vocal textures. Nah, not feeling that. You guys are very loud. And we also have the full orchestra elements, of course. I forgot these. So I think I put the... We have cello and bassoon legato. Damn. Can we just take a sweet little moment to appreciate the sound of these recordings? By the way, Emre, if that helps you, I mean, in the list here, it is categorized as a tuned percussion instrument, but in the mixing side of things, the piano actually gets its own audio return outside of the pitch percussion. So I have a direct routing into the keys stem. So, and the timpani is actually going to the tonal percussion stem. Which also is a little weird when you have the glockenspiel next to it. But it is what it is. But yeah, I tend to treat piano differently. But again, with this template, we don't need to worry about that because there's no processing whatsoever involved besides the reverb, of course. If you intend to get this template, you obviously need to have Orchestral Essentials because the library is not included with the template. I can only repeat that not enough times. You have no idea how many requests I got if Nucleus is included in the template. I mean, I could immediately start a new track just with these sounds. In case you're wondering, and I know you do, again, there is no processing whatsoever on the master chain, but there is... I raised the stems by 3 dB to make up a little for the gain that got lost during the gain staging, you know? So, where were we? Okay, just putting a little riser there with or transition with the tremolo strings. And And after that, could use some just a little line there from the timbre. The events in bar 1 are exactly that. They have the sole purpose of gain staging and setting the stage, so to say, with, for example, most importantly, the CC7 value, which translates to Kontact's own volume fader here. So, again, I have all the faders, besides a few exceptions, on Unity 0. Because all the mixing happens on the MIDI side in the tracks. And that's one more reason why I didn't use any plugins like EQ or compression or anything. So this template really sounds the way it sounds out of the box with nothing added. So you can focus only on writing instead of mixing. I will not say that you can get even more out of it when you mix it and add some bells and whistles here and there. But honestly, it's not needed. It just sounds gorgeous out of the box. Hey, Alex. There you go. Now you found me. I'm just wondering if we should add some legato solo instrument. I did like that, so let's capture that. I'm very good. Thank you very much. How are you? And thanks for following for sure. I feel we could use some, yeah, right. Some muted notes there. That was too late. Move. Oh, damn. Sorry. Move here. Is that 16th notes? Did I play the correct? What did I do? No, I don't want to hard quantize that. Let's undo that. Just a tad. So, and put them back like -20. Oh, cool. New track. Something for the next listening to track sessions. Another bigger boom there. A little quieter. There we go. Sounds like we could use that odd choir texture there. Like this one, just as a riser. Should rise that a little more. Do you use Pro Tools? No. Not at all. And what I want to try here is actually, I don't know if these libraries react to that. I haven't tried yet, but no, what? Trying to square paint. There we go. Want to see if that works and increases in pitch. Put that at 0. It does. Don't know how it sounds. And that is a little quiet, so I would go to the main volume and bring that up a little. And as you can see, the volume is really, really down on these libraries. So the fader is, because if you put that on -6, it's just blastingly loud. So it really, there is no way of gain staging anything with the stuff at regular volume. So yeah, just bringing in the tracks that have data on them. Quickly little something written with the template. Sorry. That choir is actually hilarious. So definitely make it shut up at the bar there. Well, Alex, it's not really needed in terms of amount of libraries. I mean, this whole thing is just one library. No, okay, it's 2. It's Orchestral Essentials 1 and 2. One part of the thing with this template was to showcase what it can do with these libraries alone. They are considered beginner or entry-level libraries, but I think they sound gorgeous and production ready, pretty much. So I just want to leave you into the night with another round of, or just in case you came in later, with just a quick look at the 1 and 2 demo track. And then I'm going to leave you into the night. And thank you so much for tuning in and checking out the template with me. It is released for quite a few days already, but there was an issue with the shop. It was down, so that's why I extended the intro pricing period. So you can get the template for 29 euros in the shop till next week, Friday. So why do you ignore East West Opus or Vienna VSL in your templates? I don't ignore Vienna VSL. There is just some more consideration to be put into VSL templates. It's a little bit more complicated than self-contained templates within Cubase or Studio One, which doesn't mean that they're not coming. I'm working on some ideas that I want to try out, and So there will be VE Pro templates as well in the future, but I just don't know when that is going to happen, because there's just so much more to consider with compatibility with everyone's systems and how things load, and it's not totally easy. Thank you so much. I think so too. I deserve way more viewers. That's true. To accommodate for that, what you can do is this. So head over to the channel and subscribe, and that's going to be a good thing. So with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. Here is a last look at the demo track for, yes, this is what I want, for Orchestral Essentials 1 and 2. And again, as I've said, no inserts whatsoever besides the additional reverb. Twitch link. Sorry, yeah, of course. Twitch.tv/composing tutorials. Bam. And you can also check out the website, of course, composingtutorials.online or .com. Scambot, we know that, and we appreciate you for that. So, I mean, it's boring to look at a mixer where nothing is happening because all the stuff is in the MIDI data. So let's get rid of this thing here, and actually, let's do this. Let's look at the whole shebang. This is what the MIDI data looks like. I didn't even look at that before. Holy moly. How do you mean to make automation with the mouse? I rarely do automation with the mouse. Everything that you see in terms of automation, I mean, sometimes I tweak it after the fact, but most of the automation that you see here is done either while playing or after playing. I think for the most part, I did it even while playing. And I mean, just take a listen to the strings on their own on this. I love how the strings sound. So this is just the strings for the project. Remember, that's Orchestra 1 and 2 combined, Orchestra Essentials. Did anybody mention good orchestration? Not much happening in the strings there. I mean, the Orchestral Essentials 2 small strings really carry a lot of the weight here. But the woodwinds are also not from bad parents, as we say in Germany. Alex, very good question, and it's very important that I mention that again, as I have done numerous times during the stream. The library itself is of course not included in this template. You need to have or to own the library that is offered by Project SAM. You can check out the website here. You need to buy the library to make use of this template. So the template is only like the shell, but the content you need to have on your own. Did you do step? It's a mixture. I played a lot of stuff live and I step sequenced. I think the strings that carry the main weight here, I think I step sequenced these. It looks like. No, this I played. I remember that. But I had to tweak quite a bunch of stuff afterwards. So, bunch of stuff happening there. And I mean, Project Sam, Brass, any questions? Well. I love the Project Sam sound. So, yeah, anyway. And, I mean, a bunch of stuff, again, happening here. Also in the tuned percussion section. So, anyway, I don't want to go too deep into all the nitty-gritty details of all the instruments, otherwise you have no reason to buy this thing. Again, it comes with 3 different project files for OE1 and 2 combined, for just OE1 or just OE2. 3 different demo tracks. The empty project ready to go with everything loaded, and also the same thing for all 3 projects as disabled version, so you can quickly open it up for lower spec systems to be able to run it at the same time. And just want to check, because all the, as you can see, there's a bunch of hidden tracks here, because the tracks that I didn't use for the demo are actually still there. They're just disabled. Like here, so you can see that the pizzicato is disabled here. Again, just a click of a button. how do you get inspiration of creating music? That's actually a good question. In this specific case, I had a template and I needed a track for it. So I wrote something that tries to showcase what the template sounds like. And although this is not really true because it went hand in hand, the whole idea of having a template with no mixing or processing whatsoever came while writing that demo track with the Orchestra Essentials sounds, because I only then realized how good they actually are and just sound great on their own without the need to a lot of heavy tweaking and further tweaking. So, but I mean, inspiration comes in so many different ways. It can hit you like a brick while you tumble across the field with your dog on a dog walk. It can obviously happen when you're inspired by a sound, and the sound just triggers direction of a new cue. The crazy thing is that I find it extremely difficult to explain creativity. So, I mean, it starts with choosing a sound, but it's the same like with a painter. Obviously, you have general guidelines that if you want to draw a face, you will have two eyes and a nose and ears and all that stuff. But that moment that you put the pen on the paper, that immediate creative decision, why is that line there and why is that point there and why do you press harder at that point? I mean, obviously you get a darker shade or something, but why? What drives the decision-making process in the creative field is something that I struggle to explain and also struggle to understand myself. Why can I mean, with this track, why did I go with with these violin lines? I think I started with the piano on this one. That was kind of the initial idea for the whole track. But again, why certain decisions are made and what they are based on, I cannot really... thank you, Jaylit Mine. Bye-bye. Addictive keys? Yeah, I know these. I actually have them, or own them. I bought them a long time ago, but I have not installed them on the system. I don't think you need Scambot. It's, yeah, right. It's best to have 32 gigs. I think the full template loaded scratches on the 16 gigabyte mark. So this track right now, this project, sits at 8 gigabytes. So it's very reasonable. So yeah, with that said, I want to leave you into the night. Check out the template for Cubase. Keep up to date with the CTO Facebook page. I will announce once the Studio One version is out. It will come out hopefully by the end of this week. I'm working on it right now. And so, what can I say? Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Little doggo is licking itself like crazy. Talking to you. And back at it. Anyway, so you guys have a wonderful evening, morning, day, night, afternoon, wherever you are. Tomorrow we will be back, hopefully then punctual at 9 p.m. CET, Central European Time, to take a look at Stressov sampling Percussion Essentials, where we will also be giving away a free copy of the library, thanks to the good guys at Stressov. And so far, so good. I see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye. Talk soon.